Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful 14th of February, 2023. Happy Valentine's Day to all the lovers out there. Coming up the podcast, Valentine Love from none other than Revenue Canada. Pay up or else. Yes, I have received some disturbing mail from those clowns that count our pennies. And plus updates on the so-called balloons that were being found, or were they UFOs? Interesting. All that more come up with the show. Please stick around. Listener and viewer discretion is advised. I do swear and smoke cigarettes. Cheers, all.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me.
Yes, sir.
There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues, and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to another second episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast, episode 201, Valentine Love from Revenue Canada. Yes, that's right. Yours truly got some disturbing mail the past couple of days in regards to that. And just keep in mind, this podcast is also brought to you in part by BattleFit Bodywear. That is right, BattleFit Bodywear. Well, be limitless, be BattleFit Bodywear. There'll be more information on these guys, and link will be in the description for you to follow too. So anyway, carrying on. Yes, I received some disturbing mail from the fine people at Revenue Canada. There's a few pages here for my viewers and all that alike. Now, I am guilty of not filing my taxes a couple years ago because of unemployment and, of course, the pandemic that screwed a lot of people over. You, me, our neighbors, some local businesses, some other businesses, mom and pop shops and everything. I'll just summarize everything here. And I will read to you what they said to me. So this is dated on the 4th of February, ladies and gentlemen. So it came just enough time for Valentine's Day. Oh, my. Notice of assessment. We assessed your 2021 income tax and benefit return and calculated your balance. Interesting. You need to pay, brace yourself, you need to pay $43,987.32 minus any amounts you paid that we have not yet processed. To avoid additional interest charges, please pay by February 23rd, 2023. Thank you, Mr. Hamilton from Commissioner of Revenue. Well, give yourself a round of clap there, Bob. Interesting. So let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm a firm believer in taxation with proper representation, not because I feel that I'm entitled to anything, but I think you and we're entitled to our money, and especially these economic dire times that we've all experienced the past little while too. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my apologies for not getting online and getting out to you great people in a regular basis. It's been really, really hard the past couple of weeks with my job schedule, trying to earn a decent income for my wife and I, and trying to keep everything in check. It's nice to see that I'm actually having a savings account again. But because of this thing, oh my goodness, it's getting more difficult. Now, you would think the people at Revenue Canada actually are pretty well switched on. They can obviously track what you're making and what you bring in and what you put in and all this. But for some unknown reason, they cannot add up the track to make sure you're paying your fair share. Right? I shake my head. I just got off the phone with my veterans rep there, my case manager, and I told her exactly what was going on, and I could hear her literally drop her jaw on the floor. I even talked to my psychologist in regards to that too. And I've reached out to other fellow veterans, and they're just shaking their head going, what the hell is that all about? Right? So because this country is in debt, because the CRA will not take account for the $15 billion that have been squandered in fraudulent CERB payments, people that actually received money that didn't need it, teenagers that received money that didn't need it, and prisoners, people that are actually locked up for committing some heinous crimes, received a good payout over the beer bug catastrophe. Okay? So that puts things in perspective. Now, I have mentioned numerous times in the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, that I roughly make 3 or 4 a month okay, in gross. And about 1,600 of that, when I round up, goes to taxes, EI, CPP, provincial tax, and federal tax alike. Okay. Especially my pension. About $600 to $650 a month comes off my pension. So yes, I'm paying my fair share based on what I do. Now, my job consists of a couple of things. Go there early, on time, do the best I can with what I got. I drive truck, I drop feed, I shovel things, I move things. I sometimes drive tractors, I sometimes drive other trucks. I drive big rock trucks, I sometimes use a front end loader to move some certain feed, some silage. I'm a busy lad at my job. My day starts around 20 after 6, doesn't usually end till about 4 o'clock. Some cases later, some cases earlier. But you're doing a 10-hour shift in between that. And it's not physically demanding, but it wears you out nonetheless. And when you receive something like this, okay, stating that you owe $44,000, you get a little frustrated. So I'm not going to sit here, ladies and gentlemen, and beg you for cash. I am fighting this to the best of my ability. I am, because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. So because I didn't file for a few years there, they're charging me $10,000 a year because of it? Because the benefits I receive from Veterans Affairs, my rewards, the certain payouts I had because of sleep apnea and because of my PTSD, I get my pee-pee slapped? Huh? Is that Revenue Canada's logic? They won't take responsibility for $15 billion, I said $15 billion in fraudulent payments. Yet they'll take the time and effort to send me all these papers stating that I owe them 44 grand. Now, the average citizen, as far as I know, earns anywhere from 45 to 49, in some cases 50 grand on average. Okay. So where do they get the math to do that? Where does that come from? It just goes up the old adage, crack don't smoke itself, ladies and gentlemen.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And back to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. If you like and hear what you see, please click like and subscribe and share this content all around your social media platforms too, ladies and gentlemen. Pardon the lighting here. I've had some issues with electricity here. I think there might be a circuit or something that's on or off. I'm not exactly sure, but you get to see my mug nonetheless, hear my wonderful voice, and hear me rant and rave about the fine people at Revenue Canada. And, of course, other members of our government, too. Now, of course, in recent events and news, we've had these Chinese balloons come and go and all this stuff, the Russian balloons or the UFOs, what have you. I don't know. If they're UFOs, my advice to them is stay the hell out of here. We're not ready for you guys yet. You and I may be ready for them if they are UFOs, but the rest of the world, no, not at all. Excuse me, not at all. For the simple reason that we have, as a species, I don't think we've come together enough to embrace any kind of off-world visitor or other world visitor per se. So I wouldn't say it's a UFO. I think our governments, whether the American, Canadian, Chinese, Russian, even our friends in Europe, know more things than willing to tell us in regards to these balloons, or as the French say, le ballon, right? So this is my speculation on it too. And regardless of all the rhetoric that our beloved potato puppet, Mr. Justin Trudeau, has said in regards to how he ordered something, he didn't order shit. And Joe Biden took a sweet effing time to order shit too. And because of our NORAD agreement, okay, because of NORAD, the Americans basically have to take reign of it because they have the fighter power, they have the jets, and they have things ready to go. Where in Canada, yeah, we've got decent fighter pilots up here. The F-18s are still efficient enough, but the chain of command is a little bit off, okay? That's just my speculation. I could be wrong. I don't want to offend anybody who's serving in the Royal Canadian Air Force at the moment, or anybody who is on standby who happens to watch this podcast. But you know as well as I do that our brass has gone fucking loopy in regards to national security and to what is good for Canadians as we speak. And as we sit on the cusp of World War III, ladies and gentlemen, what are the powers that be are doing? What exactly are they doing in regards to making sure that everything's safe and we're good to go? Now, they recently just purchased the F-35s, the F-22 Raptors. That's fine. We've updated our Air Force, great, but the first won't come to Canada until about 2026, and the fleet shall be complemented by 2029. It's now 2023, half past the hour, and we're still using recycled parts for the old F-18s. Yeah, that's the logic that's presented to us, to you and me, to the Canadian taxpayer. Maybe that's why they want fucking 44 grand out of me to put a down payment on some tarmac. The more I think about it, or they just can't do the math. So we're seeing the incompetencies here, ladies and gentlemen. We're seeing the incompetencies brought to you by people that are elected and bureaucrats alike. Now, we all know the whole story about people who got paid during the pandemic, all the bureaucrats alike, right? Like John Tory, mayor of Toronto, who was having some bum fun with an intern during the lockdowns. Here's a guy who actually promoted lockdowns, promoted the chastising of businesses like Adams's Barbecue, right? And I've seen emails and stuff regarding, oh, this guy didn't have a business license, or this guy didn't follow this, or this guy didn't follow that. Regardless, the man had a business. He wanted it open. And the city of Toronto screwed him. John Tory screwed a lot of Torontonians. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Shit simple. Then he gets caught with his pants down, giving it to the old bum's rush to one of his interns. You obviously can tell that she's power chasing, and he's looking for some nookie because he's bored with his life. A man with that much power should not be that bored with his life. But hey, who am I to judge, right? Each their own. Do what you want in your bedroom, in your office, what have you. Okay? But it just goes to prove how corrupt and how dumb some of you fucking politicians really are.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
Anyway, now it's time to mention my sponsor. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Crusty Canuck here. Just to remind you, my wonderful audience out there, that Battlefit Bodywear was founded in Windsor, Essex, Ontario in 2019 and is a proud Canadian company. All of our apparel and accessories are purchased and printed right in our hometown by local independent business owners. And we pride ourselves on quality and customer satisfaction. At Battlefit Bodywear, we believe that every person has a warrior with them waiting to come out. Our brand is meant to inspire and fan the internal flame. Regardless of what your thing is, take it to the next level and be the best version of yourself that you can be. We also believe in that maintaining balanced lifestyle is a key to a good life and includes having a regimented and productive fitness and exercise schedule. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline will get you across the finish line. Get there with Battlefit Bodywear. Crusty Canuck says so. Cheers. And that was my sponsor, the lovely, lovely people at Battlefit Bodywear. You can reach them, battlefitbodywear at hotmail.com. You can find them on Instagram too. Links will be in the description. That's Battlefit Bodywear. Battlefit Bodywear. Be limitless. Be Battlefit. Battlefit Bodywear. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Please check them out. Like I said, links in the description. Anyway, carrying on again with more of the whole buffoonery of Revenue Canada and Valentine Love from Revenue Canada. Pay Up or Else, episode 201 episodes, ladies and gentlemen, is because of the wonderful people like you that have helped me keep this podcast going. So give yourselves a round of applause there. Right on. Excellent. Right on. Got your six and all that too. Update 2, screenplay is still going well. Had some drama out there to sort out, but needless to say, the show will go on, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll keep you updated on that once the information is processed and developed properly, and I'll share it all with you there too. Anyway, carrying on again more with this Revenue Canada stuff and the balloon stuff. Now, I've ranted and raved enough about those clowns. When I look at Revenue Canada, and especially the IRS in the States and every tax service that every democracy has, you'd have to think about certain ethics. Okay. Now, I can understand if you're making $1.5 million and you don't pay a dime in taxes, then there's a problem. Now, I'm a firm believer in this. I believe in a 20% flat rate tax. Excuse me. Why do you ask that? I got to stop smoking. Because it's simple. It's manageable. Okay. When you want to stop Canadians from going into debt, you have to encourage them to do something that's manageable. Okay. I got stupid a few years back with my credit card. Oh, did I pay for it? You're damn right I paid for it. Okay. And I know a few other people that got stupid with their credit cards, line of credit, what have you. but eventually got paid off and people took responsibility for their stuff. Okay. Now, when you have a federal government that's charging you at the pumps, when you turn on your lights, no pun, and when you turn on your heat, you turn on your taps, right? When you buy your groceries and they cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching you, nickel, dime, nickel, dime, nickel, dime you and all that too. There's a lot of tax revenue there. When you buy tobacco, okay? There's a lot of tax in that too. When you buy liquor, tax. When you buy a coffee at Tim Hortons, tax, okay? And then when you get your paycheck, tax. When you receive an inheritance, tax. And then every fiscal year, you have to submit papers to prove to said government that you're not making too much money or you're making less, who knows? And they reassess you, just like here, to the tune of $44,000. I don't know what kind of lifestyle I had during those taxable years, but it wasn't exquisite. It wasn't lavish. It wasn't, oh, look at me, I'm on a yacht in Lake Ontario. Hardly. I was out here trying to find meaningful work, trying to get my head together, get my head focused on things like my marriage, my life, like my sanity. But they don't see it that way. So that's where I'm talking about 20% flat rate. Okay. And anyone who is working and paying anywhere from $1,000 to $1,600 a month in taxes, I think is sufficient enough. That's just my opinion. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Please contact me, crustybcanuck67@gmail.com. Give me your questions, right? There's the email right under the page there, crustybcanuck67@gmail.com. Let me know what's on your mind. Please give me a comment or two. Let me know what you think. I really want to hear from you guys. Please send me some more emails. Send me some more emails. Send me some comments. And every time you see this video, whether it's on YouTube or Rumble, whatever, where I post it too. Excuse me. And if you do want to donate, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I'm not going to beg you for cash. I'm not doing that. I have a little too much pride and a little more self-respect for that too. I'm not going to turn one of those OnlyFans bimbos who's going to sell bathwater for $20 a shot or show you pictures of my toes and my kneecaps, maybe shake my tushy for you. You'll have to ask for permission. I have to ask my wife first if she says that's okay. I digress. As I'm saying, if you want to donate, please donate. If not, that's fine too. Just please tune into the show. Give me a thumbs up, click like, subscribe, comment, share this all around your social media platform, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, you can reach me at crustybcanuck67@gmail.com. And if you've seen my adverts anywhere on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook and YouTube, please give me a thumbs up there as well. Give me a comment or two. Share it all around your social media platform. If you want to check out my shop, ladies and gentlemen, customizedgirl.com /s/Crusty Canuck. T-shirts, hats, mugs, all that good stuff. And every time you buy an item, I set aside certain costs to help the Veterans Association Food Bank in Calgary and Edmonton, respectively, too. So you're not just helping me make some money with this podcast, but you're also helping vets as well, too. When I do make the money, I do want to give Veterans Association food banks a couple of bucks, too, whenever I can. So that's up to you, my wonderful audience out there, to make that a reality, too. And then, like I say, if you like and hear to see, you can subscribe to me on Podbean, Rumble, Spotify, Amazon, and Player FM too, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be shy. Anyway, carrying on again with more of this buffoonery. Valentine Love, Revenue Canada, pay up or else. So regardless of all the balloon drama, regardless of all the other drama in regards to shooting down spies in our skies, there was a big chemical fire that happened in Ohio past couple of days. A lot of bad toxins going in the air. Now, I'm summarizing here as best of my ability from what I've read, what I've seen in independent media outlets. And it's actually hurting a lot of animals and hurting the water balances, the water tables and everything in that part of Ohio. I think it's called East Palestine on Ohio. I've only seen Ohio once in my life. And I'm not familiar with that area, but needless to say, it's a nasty train accident. And a lot of people aren't focusing on that. And I wonder why. It makes you think, right? Why is it more important to worry about a handful of balloons in northern Canada? Which, to me, is a big deal because someone's sneaking and peeking, taking a look. Okay. But the government's not telling us the truth about what the balloons are, where they're from, and all this, too. Because we know Justin Trudeau just loves his basic dictatorship. He loves his China. Oh, whatever. But still, it's a devastating accident going in Ohio. Now, whether you believe that the tracks were sabotaged or whether it was just an accident or incompetence, whatever, it seems that every time there's an environmental catastrophe, No one steps up and takes responsibility for it. I remember as far back as the Exxon Valdez back in 1989, they tried to make this the boat captain as some kind of raging alcoholic, when I think it was just an insurance claim. Needless to say, there's a lot of fuckery going on there too. And I wonder who was in charge of the train there in Ohio. Now, I know there's footage out there for you guys to see and to check out all you want. And I'm not going to put links in the description for you in that, ladies and gentlemen. But needless to say, it's a poop show and it's devastating. When they had that train derailment in Quebec where 47 people were killed because of, shipping oil, and train derailed because of an accident, and it killed 47 people. To me, that was more of a reason to say, let's have a pipeline. But the good people of Montreal and the mayor at that time said, no, we don't want dirty oil coming here. Meanwhile, at the same time, they're dumping raw sewage in the St. Lawrence Seaway, which is more devastating. A biohazard that can be cleaned up in record time, or an actual biohazard that will devastate life in any water as we know it. But, what do I know, right? Because basic biology, as far as we're concerned, has been challenged already, because nobody can tell you what a woman is or what a man is. It's just a frame of mind. Oh, of course. Buffoonery. Effing goddamn buffoonery. Everywhere you turn. Shit.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And I'm back once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Crusty Canuck Podcast, episode 201, Valentine Love. That's right, Valentine Love from Revenue Canada. Pay up or else, yes. So I hope I didn't scare a lot of you out there. I know there's a lot of Canadians out there that are hurting. A lot of Americans are hurting too. I know their tax time's coming up shortly as well. And I wonder how many surprises they're going to get in the mail from the IRS, because I know I got a few surprises from Revenue Canada. Hey, there you go. Some real BS coming our way. But like I said, I will persevere and I will fight this to the best of my ability, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to be a dick about it, but this buffoonery has got to stop, honestly. We don't fund our military properly, and they're worried about national security. We don't fund the services that we need drastically. Now, I'm not saying we can live in a society without tax, but taxation without representation to me is a moral crime. It should be illegal. Because there's probably a handful of people sitting in some office someplace, putting these papers up saying, well, let's just take the best guess and charge them this. And then we charge her that, charge this business this. I'll take some of that. We'll take some of this. And you can just have these, a few little quarters here. There you go. There's your tax return. Congratulations. Said no one. So I think you see my point, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So taxation without representation, without representation to me is evil. Okay. Yes. And people have said, well, death and taxes are the only two things certain in life. Well, death and taxes are certain if you're a mortician and a tax collector. Okay. Now, I have nothing against paying taxes as long as they're reasonable and honorable. Right. People say, well, what about roads? What about schools? What about hospitals? That's a provincial thing. And I pay my provincial taxes, right? This is federal. This shit's going, this is higher than my pay grade and yours too, right? And we'll just call the guy Bob because, Bob's a buffoon. That simple. Sit there and reassess me like that based on hearsay rather than fact. The thing is, I have the papers to back up all the monies I have earned properly and what I have earned efficiently and honorably, right? For my time of service. So in a way, any soldier, male or female, can look at this as a personal attack. And I do for the very good reason, because I got hurt in the job. And there's a few lads that I know that aren't with us today because they got hurt in the job. And there's a few people I know in my circle that are still hurting from said job. So when you turn around and hand me something like this and expect 5 digits handed to you in a timely manner in 9 days, how are you based? How do you live with yourself? How do you sleep at night? How do you kiss your wife or your boyfriend or whomever you're intimate with? Doing that kind of shit. I think we should get the Ethics Commission involved with the CRA and see what they're doing. Because like I said earlier in the show, ladies and gentlemen, they want to just forget about $15 billion of fraudulent payment. And they want to go after guys like me, you, your neighbor's dog, and the person that washed your neighbor's dog there 2 months ago. Self-explanatory where the priorities are, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Once again, I apologize for not being around the past few days. I've been working pretty hard, keeping things in check, sorting my house out too. We're going to plant a big garden this year. I've got enough wood now accumulated where I can build some nice garden boxes, do some preserves and all that. Come the fall, we'll see. But needless to say, it's been busy times. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you like to hear what you see, just follow the links in my description. If you want to donate, you can use the Buy Me Coffee app, the PayPal app, or whatever else you desire. I'm not going to demand cash. I like to make this podcast a full-time commitment if I could, but it takes a wonderful audience such as yourselves to make that happen, ladies and gentlemen. So please, if you want to give, please give. If not, that's fine too. Just tune in, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, and share this content all over your social media platforms while we still can. Because C11 apparently has gone through its third reading in the Senate, and I'm a little surprised how many senators are agreeing with it, all in the name of Canadian content, when the reality is they're going to put content up that they want to see and hear. And I'm all for Canadian content. I'm all for creativity, right? But I'm all for choices too, and what people want to see and hear. Not every Canadian wants to see everything Canadian. Not every American wants to see everything American. You see what I'm getting here? It's about choices. That simple, right? I don't know about you folks, but I'm still angry. I'm still pissed at that mail I received. And I'm just still shaking my head. I'll be right back.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
Yeah, once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crusty Canuck Podcast, episode 201, Valentine Love from Revenue Canada, pay up or else. It's amazing how when they need a few bucks out of you quickly and promptly, they'll just, send you mail and they'll call you and say, you better pay this or we'll freeze your bank accounts. And yet, like I mentioned, $15 billion worth of fraudulent CERB payments. We'll get to it later. We need your $44,000, Crusty Canuck. You owe us for that road and Kapuskasing and that windowsill we're going to put up in this government office and that cubicle we're going to give little Daphne there for being part of the team. Yeah, that's, excuses, right? We've seen our tax dollars where they've gone. They've gone to Ukraine. They've gone to government interests. They've gone to SNC Lavalin. They've gone to the WE Foundation and whatever WEF conglomerate wants to take more money out of me and you, all in the name of progress. Yet they fail to realize how hard it's becoming for a lot of Canucks to get ahead, to thrive. They fail to realize that in a modified free enterprise system, you still have a free enterprise system where people want to make money and be left the hell alone. But you don't see it that way, do you? Right? You don't see it that way. And that's a damn shame because these people are elected to look after our interests. And we've heard the same story over and over again. Doesn't matter if it's conservative, liberal, or NDP. Doesn't matter if it's this guy or that gal or this group over here, this group over here. Someone always harping about your cash. When are we allowed to keep our cash? Right? When are we allowed to do that, ladies and gentlemen? When is it going to be okay for me to actually have an opportunity to save some real good money? Almost never, because of the inflation. Now, I've dealt with people on my Facebook page who've said, well, the provinces are in charge of carbon tax and it's their fault that inflation's so high. And it's like, no, it's our Minister of Finance, Miss Chrystia Freeland, Mr. Speaker. Like my boots. And of course, sock puppet extraordinaire. Look at my suckings. That's right. Justin Trudeau. Giving away our money, giving away our assets, i.e. giving Ukraine some of our war kit. 4 tanks, not a big deal, but still a big deal. 200 armored vehicles. Still a big deal. And whatever cash and noodles they need. When our troops are hurting, when our defenses are being sequestered, that's where they want to spend the money. Right? And whatever noble cause here, whatever woke mandate there, woke mandate here. Right? Woke. What a fucking joke. Okay? I miss the days where things are going to go back to merit again, where you actually earn something to get a position. You go out and you campaign for a political party for a seat in parliament or a seat in the MLA or a seat in the provincial parliament. and you actually earn it by votes, and you represent properly to the best of your ability. Those days I miss, right? I miss the days where you give someone a job because he or she has what it takes, not because he or she is or how they look or what they represent, but what they have what it takes, right? I hate when people say, well, identify as this, and this is not a hand, this is a hammer, and you better agree with me or else. I don't buy that at all. I think you know what I'm getting at, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's a matter of priorities and getting back to reality and getting back to pragmatism. Let's be practical again. And let's not stand for the bullshit. That's simple. No. I'm not impressed with the way things are. And I'm a little more angry than I was, let's say, 6 months ago because of that paper spiel I just gave you. I'm not impressed at all with the federal government, and I'm really starting to lose a lot of faith in provincial governments too. Next, probably the municipal governments as well, because they do want to take a good hefty chunk of change for your land taxes and for water, what have you, and some of the decisions they make in the name of progress and the environment. We all know what to do with the environment. We make a mess, we clean it up. You don't leave your garbage lying around. You dispose your garbage properly. You recycle if you need to, or if you have to, or if you want to. Right? We don't walk down the street and drop our drawers and take a dump on the street. No, we use plumbing for that. But there's still a bunch of individuals in major cities in this country that would prefer to do that. Go figure. I guess those kids were raised in a barn. Who knows? Not every parent's perfect. But I think you see my point, ladies and gentlemen, that is just a lot of bullshit going on, and I'm tired of carrying it. What say you? Like I said, you can reach me at crustybcanuck67@gmail.com. Follow the links in my description, ladies and gentlemen, if you so desire. Don't hesitate to send me an email. Send me a comment or two. Ask me a question, please. I would like to get enough emails where I can actually do part of my episodes based on your questions and my answers, all that good stuff too. I'm going to try to arrange another live show sometime in the next future. I'm trying to get a special guest if I can. If not, then you'll just see my mug live anyway, all the same. Oh, joy. But I'll see what I can do for you in the near future. I'm back to work again tomorrow. I'm on 10-day stretch, so I won't be around. I'm going to try to make a better effort, though, to be around on some other nights where I don't have to work as late. So if I'm working, if I get off early, I come home at a decent time, then I'll try to put an episode up for you, ladies and gentlemen, to the best of my ability. But in the meantime, it'll have to be 1 or 2 every 2 weeks until I find some light at the end of this ridiculous darkness. Anyway, ladies, I've been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 14th of February. Happy Valentine's Day out there. February 14th, 2023. Happy Valentine's Day to all the couples out there, to all the lovers out there. Do something nice for your loved one. Make a dinner, buy some flowers, rub feet, rub backs, whatever you're into. Buy some chocolate, and just appreciate your loved ones to the best of your ability, ladies and gentlemen. And stand high, stand firm, right? Do what you can to overcome this darkness that's being thrown in our faces every goddamn day. We shall prevail this. Liberty is beneficial. Liberty is paramount. Free speech is paramount. Freedom of expression is paramount. Doesn't matter what side of the fence you are on either. Protest your heart's desire. Stand up for what you think is right. Democracy is not failing. Just our leaders are failing the democracy. It's that simple. So we got to find some better leaders and stand our ground, stand firm, ask the tough questions, and stand against this bullshit to the best of our abilities, ladies and gentlemen. The truckers did a great job last year. Let's keep the flame and let's keep the dream alive. Like I said, I've been Crusty Canuck this 14th of February, Valentine's Day, 2023. I wish nothing but the best for all of you. And hope to see you in the next couple of weeks. And like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, humanity merit wins the day. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Oh, yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.
Well, smack my ass and call me Judy.